Good day, Deep in Word family. Welcome to day 213 of our Bible study review. Today we're going through the Psalms 64 through 67. Psalm 64 is a psalm of David, and it's definitely a psalm that we can all identify with. Those of us who truly follow the Messiah and his righteousness, we can feel this one right here. I'm just going to read through the full thing, so let's start at verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O Elohim, in my complaint. Guard my life from the dread of the enemy. Hide my face from the secret counsel of the wicked. From a throng of workers of iniquity, they sharpen their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the blameless. Suddenly they shoot at him and do not fear. They harden themselves in an evil matter. They talk privately of lying snares or setting traps. They say, 'Who will see them?' They devise injustice, saying, 'We have perfected a secret plot.'" Come on, y'all. We know that there are secret societies. We know that there are so-called elites, the rich and the wealthy, right? The 1% of the world. They come together maybe once or twice a year, the Bilderberg Group, right? And they make decisions for us, and they make plans against us. They do conspire against all of humanity, right? To bring us under the yoke of their wicked kingdom. They've been at it for years, hundreds of years, thousands of years. Our Brit Hadashah, right? The New Testament says that after Christ came, that the spirit of Antichrist was already working at that point. So through the generations, there have been those who serve Satan, and that's what they have been doing, patiently waiting and patiently passing down the plans of the Antichrist agenda to their sons and their sons' sons, right? But we are called to pass on the kingdom of Elohim through our sons and our sons' sons. We have to recognize that there are two kingdoms at play. We are at war. You've heard past presidents say that they need an NWO. What do you think that they were declaring, y'all? All of them, for the most part, are corrupt, and all of them are sold out to this agenda. Absolutely. I encourage you to look it up. Almost every president, whether Democrat or Republican, those words have left their mouth, and there may be a few good ones who have never been along with that plan, but the good ones are usually removed out of the way. If they're not with the program, they're a problem, and we already know how they're dealt with. But let's continue with the psalm. This is what David has to say about all of those who make plans in secret to conspire against humanity. He says, "But Elohim will suddenly shoot them with an arrow. They will be wounded. They will bring ruin on themselves by their own tongues. All who see them will flee away. All people will fear and declare the work of Elohim. They will wisely consider his deeds." Verse 10, this is what David has to say about us, those of us who place our trust in him. He says, "The righteous will be glad in Yahweh and seek refuge in him, and all of the upright in heart will glory." David is essentially telling us to hold on, hold fast to our faith, because the judge of all, the almighty judge, is going to judge them. And when he does, he's going to do it all of a sudden, and they will perish. Now we walk into Psalm 65, and this is another psalm of David, and I absolutely love how beautiful that this psalm is. I'm going to read portions of it, and I'll let you know which ones that it is. But I'm going to start with verse 1. It says, "Praise awaits you, O Elohim, in Zion, and to you a vow will be fulfilled. O you who hears prayers, to you all flesh will come." And so David is saying unto Yahweh, and he's saying unto Elohim, there is praise that waits for you in your holy hill, that all flesh will come and finally give you the praise that you deserve. Verse 3, he says, "Iniquities are stronger than me. As for our transgressions, you atone for them." He says, you cover our transgressions. They're too big for us. We don't have the strength to deal with the issue of sin, but he does. So he makes a way to cover it. He provides, he pays, he makes the way for the sin debt in the earth. And that is by way of Yeshua, Jesus Christ. That's designed to keep us humble. No man could ever boast before Yahweh of our own doings. It's by the work of his sacrifice that we may be saved. Verse 4, he says, "Blessed is the man you choose and allow to draw near." Hallelujah. I'm so grateful for that. He says, "He will dwell in your courts. He will be satisfied with your goodness of your house, even of your holy temple. So David has it in his mind that we will one day be able to see the face of the Father and will be able to dwell in his midst. I'm picking up in verse 8. It says, "Those who dwell in the outermost parts are in awe because of your signs. You make the going out of the morning and the evening rejoice. You visit the earth and water it. You enrich it with the river of Elohim, which is full of water. You prepare their grain, for thus you have established it." All of the inhabitants are going to see the glorious work of his hands on how he restores all things. And it says, you soften it with showers, you bless it with sprouting. And he's talking about the earth, right? At this moment when the curses are removed and the blessings come forth. He says, you crown the year with your goodness, and your paths drip abundance. They drip on the pastures of the wilderness, and the hills clothe themselves with rejoicing. The pastures are clothed with flocks, and the valleys are also covered with grain. They shout for joy, they also sing. All of the earth will be filled with his glory. So all of the earth will be praising him and shouting, giving him what is due. Even the plant life, right? Plants are living organisms. The animal kingdom will praise and rejoice. And most of all, the image bearers will give him what is due. Psalm 66 is a beautiful psalm. It doesn't give credit to an author, but it seems like it goes hand in hand with Psalm 65. So let's read from verse 1. It says, "Shout joyfully to Elohim, all you lands. Sing out the glory of his name. Make his praise glorious. Say to Elohim, how awesome are your works through the greatness of your power. Your enemies cringe before you. All of the earth will worship you and will sing to you. They will sing to your name." So the first portion of this psalm is a command to all of the earth, right? The plant life, that's living organisms. And so in this psalm, they're commanding the earth to rejoice, and the earth will rejoice. And we're going to see in this next section that it's a command for the image bearers to bring forth praise. Verse 5, "Come and see the works of Elohim. He is awesome in his doings towards mankind." Let's pick up in verse 8. It says, "Oh, bless our Elohim, you people, and make the voice of his praise to be heard, who keeps our soul among the living and does not allow our feet to slip." Let's pick up in verse 16. It says, "Come and hear, all you who fear Elohim, and I will declare what he has done for my soul." So whoever this person is, they want to testify of how they have been delivered. And so they say in verse 17, "I cried to him with my mouth, and he was extolled with my tongue. If I regard iniquity in my heart, then the Adon, or the Lord, will not hear me." And that's so true. If we come before him with an unrepentant heart and still try to pray and make a request, right? He's not going to hear us. You have to come clean before the holy God before he will hear your petition. Verse 19, "But certainly Elohim has heard me. He has attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be Elohim, who has not turned away my prayer, nor his mercy from me." Our God is so full of love and mercy that he allows us to repent before him daily. We know that sin breaks the fellowship between man and God, right? And so when we come clean before him and confess the wrongs that we have done, then he opens his ears to our prayers because we have humbled ourselves before him. Psalm 67, much like Psalm 66, does not give credit to an author, but it's so beautiful the way that it opens up. Let's read from verse 1. It says, "May Elohim be gracious to us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us." That's a part of the Aaronic blessing, right? The priestly blessing that is over the people. Let's pick up in verse 2. It says that your way may be known on earth, your salvation among the nations. So for the whole world, that's what this is for. And it says, "Let the peoples praise you, O Elohim. Let the peoples praise you. Oh, let the nations be glad and sing for joy, for you will judge the people uprightly and lead the nations on earth." Selah. Then the next part, it just reiterates praise, and there's a reason for it. It says, "Let the peoples praise you, O Elohim. Let the peoples praise you. Then will the earth yield its produce, and our Elohim will bless us." Elohim will bless us, and all of the ends of the earth will fear him. So if the earth is travailing and it's not bringing forth and yielding its fruit, it's because the image bearers are not praising him. That's why the enemy comes immediately to steal, kill, and destroy the truth of the word that is planted in one's heart. Once the word marinates, then we start to bring our praises where they belong so we can start to experience healing in the land. But if the praise doesn't go towards the one who brings forth the fruit of the land, who makes the rain come down to water everything, then the clouds, they will shut up. Then the earth will not bring forth its fruit. And then we experience the curses. That's why the enemy is out here perverting praise. He wants the image bearers to be destroyed. He wants to get back at the Father for not allowing him back into the kingdom. But there's coming a time where the veil that is over the majority of mankind's eyes will be lifted, and they will see the absolute truth. And those who are still alive and standing will be given the opportunity to bring the praise where it belongs, so that they can understand that there is no life, there is no provision without giving praise and honor to the King of Glory, the one who created all things. Deep in Word family, that's all that I have for you today. Until tomorrow, Yah bless.